Liam, give us your thoughts on that, please.
It's usually a disappointing result that hurts a lot, to be fair. I think probably more the manner of the goals we conceded than anything. So yeah, frustrating one. Really disappointed.
Yeah, and with that, picking up what you just said, that the hurt factor is because of what it means internally, but also what it means to the fan base as well.
Totally get it. Knew that before the game, know it now. I think in terms of that's where I need people to step up at the minute. I think that's the biggest bit when you look at the game and how it went. I think it feels on us again in terms of the types of goals we give away. Of course, I know the second one, people will talk about the finish, but if you look what leads to the opportunities, a real simple thing and a regain, same as the third one, where I actually thought we started the second half okay, had elements of control, and then again another really poor turnover leads to an opportunity for them. So for me, it's on us again. We've got to look at ourselves. We've got to take responsibility, and we've got to be a lot tougher than what we're showing.
What do you think that is, particularly today? Because you wouldn't have thought they'd need any extra need to understand the stakes were so high.
And I didn't think there was a huge amount in it up until the third goal. I think first half we caused them some problems with how we pressed, forced them to kick long, dealt with it. They caused us a few problems, I think, in terms of when they landed on seconds or they did get the build-up right and went through us. But I think in terms of, if you look at the first half, performance-wise, I didn't think there was a huge amount in it. And that's why, again, to come in a goal behind was so disappointing, given that the margins were so close. And then, like I said, I thought at the start of the second half, we showed a bit of personality. We actually took a hold of the ball. I thought Stay caused them some real problems with Ante down the right. I thought Mirko had a terrific opportunity, and a couple of other half chances. I thought we lacked the ruthlessness and lacked the quality in terms of in and around the edge of their box. But in terms of general play between the boxes, wasn't a huge amount in it for me second half. So yeah, we then go and completely shoot ourselves in the foot, with the turnover.
You said in midweek the unwanted element of the history of the start at Canaries Road. You didn't want that. You didn't want to be associated with that, you and your players. And now you've got this first group in 16 years to lose this fixture. How heavy will that hang, do you feel, moving forward?
Yeah, I'm not delighted about it. Clear on that. Of course it hurts. Frustrated, annoyed, but I can't change anything now. The game's done. All I can concentrate on is making sure that we work hard this week and we pull a bit out of players. I think that's the bit where we talk about tactics, we can talk about game plans, structures, whatever you want, but that's ultimately not what cost us today. I think that's the biggest bit where the difference, you see the second goal, Philogene sticks one in from 30 yards. We're waiting for somebody to step up and go and do that and be the one to make that happen. So that's on all of us. All we can do is get our heads down, work, own it, and ultimately get ready for another game in 2 weeks.
I mean, you've been very clear. You said we're in the results business and it's about results, and the results haven't been good enough. I mean, that's 8 points from 9 championship games now. I mean, how do you give those fans, particularly, the sense that you can turn this around?
It'll be a result in the next game. Words, anything I say now won't change anything. Of course, I think I'm real, I'm honest, I understand that. I think all we can do is look at ourselves internally and make sure over the next 2 weeks we do everything to get a result against Bristol. And then for me, it's like I said, at the minute we're in a lot of debt. We have to chip away and earn some credit by winning ultimately.
I mean, you also, you've had to bat away questions about pressure, which, let's be honest, that's code for, do you fear for losing your job? I mean, do you feel you will get the time to turn this around from this position?
I don't think so. I can't control any of that. All I can control is turning up and doing the best I can every day and trying to drag as much out of as I can out of the lads. So what will be. For me, it's I'll watch the game back now. I'll do all my work. I'll be in ready pushing the lads next week, and that's all I can control.
And it's going to be, or will it? I mean, obviously you've got no game now for the next 2 weeks. Can you actually use that as not a positive, but almost a reset again and just clear from the space of a game cycle, just try and get to a point where you can come out the other side and those elements that are missing at the moment are there?
Yeah, definitely. We have to work hard in the next 2 weeks. And I think, especially the stage of the season where the game's being so quite slow, it's quite difficult to bounce and move into the next one. I think when we have a run of games, I think you can easily change a lot in a week. When you go Saturday, Tuesday, Saturday, you can change quite a bit in terms of whether it be performances and results, that opportunity too. And again, I think, historically, if you look at the Championship, that teams do that, and I think we've by no means been at the level we need to be. We've started slow, results and performances, but across the last 2 games, there has been elements that have been better, but we ultimately haven't got the result. We have to take the bits that have been better, and we have to make sure that, we put it right in the next one.
You just give us a sense without maybe revealing too much. I mean, what have you said to the players at full time in the change room? What was the sense from the players? Can you give us a sense of the mood there?
I think it's the same as everybody. Hurt, frustrated, disappointed. I think naturally there was a lot of emotion in there in terms of disappointment, fire. I think we had a bit of everything. I think that's the bit we need people to step up. I keep saying it, but I think we need people to step up and grab it and take responsibility and be the ones that change it. Like I said, staff behind the scenes, I think, across all departments, give absolutely everything, and I think that's what we need to do. We need to stick together and make sure that we pull each other through this tough period.
Final one for me, on the point of stepping up. You scored today, Oscar. You've talked very positively about his impact, how he was out of the squad, he's come back in, and now he's in the 11, and now he's scoring goals. That's almost the example of what you want from the rest of the players now, isn't it?
Yeah, and he's a great example within 19, I think, in terms of, he had a chat with him after Blackburn, why he was out, and to be fair to him, he's responded in the right way, and that's it. That's some of the lads, where they're at in their journeys. We've got to pull it out of them quicker. I think, in order to win games at this level with the margins so fine, we need more people to step up, and like I said, it'll be our job behind the scenes to make sure that we push the lads. Thank you.
Do you think the players have that ability to step up? And if so, what is it that's stopping them? Is it fear? Is it uncertainty? What is it, do you think?
It's probably different for each of them. I'd say, when you look at it, I think, like I say, we play some nice stuff, but then the point of doing that is to then kill the opposition at the end of it, and that's the bit where, throughout the team, whether it be the basics, whether it be the quality of decision, whether it be the execution of things high up, it'll be different for each of them, and that's the bit where, what we have to do is be a lot tougher on ourselves. I think that and we are, but I think in terms of the industry we're in, if people want to get to where they want to get to in their careers, which, we've got some young, ambitious players, it's all right talking about it, it's all right showing moments, but you have to consistently deliver from, kick off to the final whistle, and then in this league 46 times. So that's the bit that we've got to drag out of people and push. Because like I said, we produce some moments of really high quality. It's just you have to do it consistently, and it has to be underpinned by no cheap turnovers or no cheap losses of duels or sloppiness. Which that ultimately is the bit that we have to push people on.
Liam, I know you're not into the blame game, but the keeper gets fingertips to the second goal. If he gets fingertips to it, should it go over the bar rather than under it?
I think I'm not in the blame game. I'd have to watch it back, to be honest. I think it's one of those. He's had games where he's made some outstanding saves and helped us out before, and Portsmouth away he got us 3 points. So it's one of those. I'd have to look at it. He's honest. He's hard working. He gives absolutely everything to lads. So yeah, I haven't seen it back.
At your previous clubs, you got MK Dons into a playoff semi-final, got Oxford flying before Bristol City came along, got Bristol City into a playoff semi-final. Is this your toughest moment as a manager? Because most of what you've done before, the line on the graph has been going steadily upwards.
It's a tough period, but I think if you look at what we had to go through to get to that bit at the end that you're talking about, I think we had to suffer a lot of pain at Bristol for a few months. We had a couple of months, where we had a real tough period, and similarly we not getting results, getting booed, etc. But I think we, like I said, for me, we got our head down, worked, and carried on pushing people, and we did something that hadn't been done in 17 years or something. So same as you mentioned at the other clubs, Oxford relegation battle to leaving them in second. I think we've got a history. I think what we do need is element of time, and again, I think that for me allows the ceiling to be really high in terms of we want players to step up and take responsibility, and that's not easy. I think in terms of where we're at, and I understand we have to find that right balance of getting the lads to do it, but also win games. So for me, it's head down, work, push the lads, coach the lads, give them everything, and I have confidence in them that we'll turn it.
Well, good. Thank you,
Thanks,
everybody.
Cheers, man.
Thank you.